When people hear about wine for the first time, what they think about is usually a bunch of women drinking or whining or both at the same time. So it's definitely not that. And that's why we make sure that we pronounce it as WinE, which stands for Women in Economics. It's a network that was created in 2003 with the broad idea of trying to tackle the underrepresentation and the slow progression of women in the economics profession.
This is like the only time a year you meet like 60 female economists all in one spot. This never happens.
The current situation for women in economics is one of extreme underrepresentation, particularly at the top levels of the profession.
There's a lot of high potential female researchers. By teaching them sort of the rules of the game, we can make a big step forward.
There's a general concept which is the leaky pipeline. Even though there are more and more women that are graduating as economists, the rate at which women drop out of the profession has remained relatively constant over time. There might be some real obstacles to visibility, to networking. Going down to the pub with the guys may not be your thing, or you might not be as assertive as men. But there are also what we think are perceived obstacles. For example, the fact that you think there's only one way to be successful, to be white, male, Harvard educated. And by drawing from the mentors from very different walks of life and different career paths, we hope to give some message that the successful female academics come in all shapes and sizes. The workshop is structured in 2 days. Day one is a plenary talk with panel discussions. The idea is that we tackle what the rules of the game are.
We'll be teaching you how to get funded, how to get your research published.
The second day, there's smaller groups where the mentees are paired with a mentor in their field, and they get really specific advice on a particular piece of research.
But most importantly, we'll have a networking event. There's going to be a reception at the end, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I've actually been a previous participant in Toulouse. It was such a great experience. I also decided, besides helping with the organization, to actually take part in the mentoring retreat again today.
I got a lot of feedback on how to advance my career further and be happy about it.
I remember going to a similar event when I was an assistant professor. I was in the US at the time, and I found it really depressing because I didn't look like the people that made it to the top of the profession, so I didn't feel empowered. So I thought this was my chance to make it a more accessible and empowering event.
We have very diverse backgrounds. We come from all around the place, and we have different career paths ahead of us.
I was just having tea with 3 economists from 3 different countries and from 3 completely different fields.
There are a lot of other women out there who kind of have the same similar doubts or face the same problems as you, so you're not by yourself.
Ideally, we won't need it anymore in 30 years, but we're hoping that the women who are participating today, that they will be mentors themselves in 10 years.
It's a great opportunity to expand your network. You're not forced to you're not put on the spot to present yourself, and it's actually just something which is very valuable.
WinE is an ever-growing network of bright and powerful young scholars that are going to shape the profession in ways that we even begin to imagine right now. And ultimately, it's a force that the profession can no longer afford to ignore.